Welcome back to another exciting episode on the Shuffle Squad's YouTube channel called Competitive Corner, and today we're going to be focusing on a very important aspect of the Pokemon trading card game, and that is known as sequencing. So we are going to be going over how sequencing is used in competitive decks if you're looking to go out there and play high-level competitive, going to chase your World's Invite, or maybe just getting into the trading card game. Very important lessons to learn here in this video, so you're going to want to stick around for what we have in store. Alright, so what we'll be doing here in the video is using a deck as an example. So today we'll use the Zoroark box deck. I think that there's enough moving pieces in here to know that sequencing plays a big role. As you can see, Zoroark is our main Pokemon in the deck. There is a 4-4 line, something that we want to keep in mind when we're playing the actual deck, whether it's in the ladder or, in real life. So Zoroark here has the Phantom Transformation ability. That's really what generates the power of the deck itself. So you're able to switch Zoroark from the active spot, from the bench spot. It doesn't matter. As long as there's a stage 1 in the discard pile, you can switch it out. Now you do have to keep in mind that you're also discarding anything attached to this Pokemon, and that means energy cards, tool cards, anything like that. Even damage counters are going to be removed from play when you're using this ability. Now moving into some of the attackers, we have the Mightyena, and we know that this is for the Mew VMAX matchup, but it can hit into any other big VMAX Pokemon for free, so things like the Pikachu VMAXs that you see out there, or maybe an Ice Rider VMAX. Going into Ice Rider VMAX, we also have the Wormadam here, so the Metal Wormadam can hit into the Ice Rider. It is weak to Metal. We want to be cautious of hitting weakness. Arceus, another big matchup. We have the Wormadam that's fighting for that matchup. We have Electrode that's here to hit Palkias for weakness. We have the Golisopod. Any of those dark Pokemon out there trying to counter Mew are also weak to Grass most of the time. If not, they're weak to fighting, but that's how this game works. Now we do have the Flapple as our auxiliary attacker, and what that means is it's an attacker that hits for really good damage. A lot of Pokemon out there have abilities. You'll see the Drizzile, the Inteleon Engine, the Palkia, the Dialga, all of these things. There's abilities running rampant in all of these decks, so I think Acid Mucus is such a great attack on something like the Flapple. We do have a draw engine Pokemon here, so Bibarel, we want to be cautious of that. We have our walling Pokemon through Miltank. And you can recover these Pokemon, so our recovery cards are things like the Ordinary Rod and things like the Roseanne's Backup. You're able to get things back, your resources. We want to be cautious of resources when sequencing. We notice some of our biggest resources in a deck like this are the energy cards. We have double turbo energy and twin energy. We do have to know everything that the cards are saying. So this card here is stating that it does 20 less damage. We have to keep that in the back of our mind. We have cards like Choice Belt that do extra damage when you're attacking V Pokemon. When we're hitting for weakness, we also want to be cautious of using our Supereffective Glasses. We also have very few retreat options here in the Air Balloon, so those are our tools. We have our supporters. Most of them are draw supporters. We do have a few game-winning supporters like Boss's Orders to gust things up from the bench, bring them into the active and hit them for a knockout, or maybe even stall out for a turn. We only have one stadium in the entire deck. We do have some ball search cards, so we have a 4 count of Evolution Incense to get our Evolve Pokemon. That is a free search card. We also have the Quick Ball here. Now you're able to discard things with Quick Ball. You can only discard one card, whether it's from your hand to thin down for Bibarel, or just to thin one of your stage 1 Pokemon out so Zoroark can utilize its ability. Now, same idea goes behind Ultra Ball. You're just able to not only discard 2 cards here, but you're also able to search for anything like the Zoroark or any basic Pokemon. It doesn't matter. So Ultra Ball, very good in a deck like this. So now that we know the pieces and parts, we're going to hop over to the ladder and actually use the deck. Alright, so let's see what we're up against. Looks like they have a dark deck box. Something to keep in mind is we also want to pay attention when sequencing to what our opponent is doing. So let's take a look at our opening hand here and see what we've got. Now there aren't many basic Pokemon, but I know a lot of decks do play Vs. So if we see any Vs or You know, I know in the current meta, there's not a whole lot of non-V attackers that are going to be happening here. So let's just hit done. We don't want to do anything preemptively, and this is actually a great matchup. So Eternatus, you don't normally see it, but again, because Mew VMAX is coming back, we do see a lot more dark decks. Totally fine. Now, if we notice here, we want to take a look. They are weak to fighting Pokemon. There are other Pokemon in here that are weak to grass. I know that from playing against Eternatus. We see the Liepard here, weakness grass. So we keep that in our mind. Let's look at this hand again. We have Stage 1, Stage 1, Stage 1, Energy card, a basic Pokemon, and Ultra Ball. So all very, very good cards. So we do have a search card. We could search our entire deck. We could check to see what's in our prizes. And that has to be your mindset going into turn number 1, whether you're going first or going second. Now they did place energy, and that is correct sequencing. You notice that energy is placed at the end of the turn. So here's what we want to do. We want to put our Zorua here. We can actually get rid of things like this Flapple, because I know that there's going to be quite a few abilities here. And we can get rid of the Golisopod. Now we do have attackers. We want to be safe and get some draw support here too. I don't have much. I think I'm just going to keep the Zoroark in hand, and we can just leave the Miltank active, or we could put some energy on. I think we're going to put the energy on and go ahead and hit for route. Now it does do 20 less damage, but they're going to inevitably load up their bench, so it's something that we have to keep in our mind too. Now we didn't do the search, but we will do it the next time. We noticed that there were enough Pokemon. We want to go back in the next time and take a look at that. So as far as sequencing goes, make sure that you actually are searching out what's in your deck and getting the correct counts. The Galar Mine is pretty bad because now we can't rotate. We do have to get knocked out. But again, they're going to start putting more and more Pokemon here, which is totally fine. Okay, so let's do this. Now we're going to use the Ultra Ball and do a proper search. We notice we have 2 Zoruas. We notice we have 2 Bidoofs. We have the Manaphy here. We have all of our Zoroarks in deck. We're missing one of the Zoruas, so that's one of our prizes. We have Bibarel. The Wormadam is in here, so we could hit for weakness. We have 1 Quick Ball and 1 Ultra Ball, because we know we play 4 counts, and 2 Evolution Incense. Now we can kind of map out where our prizes are. Let's take a look at our other resources. We do have all of our energy. We do have all of our research. We're missing a Bruno, so that's another one of our prizes. So we know what's prized, so that's good. Let's start setting up a draw support engine here. And we will just hit for route. Now coming back into our turn, we are going to get knocked out, and that's totally fine. Now, one thing to note is that in between turns, poison ticks. So therefore, coming into our turn, we are going to get knocked out. If they poison us the next turn, we're going to get poisoned. Then this Zorua would get knocked out, going back into their turn, allowing them to take another knockout. We don't want that to happen. So what we could do is we could allow it to get poisoned once, then evolve. Then they'd have to poison us again, still unable to get a knockout. And then we can even use the Phantom Transformation ability and get rid of all the damage counters and start from scratch. I think that that's exactly what we're going to do. We don't need the super effective goggles yet, but Marnie is very cool. Oh, perfect. Look at this. So we do have the Zorua, and if you noticed, we played down our hand, we looked at it, there wasn't much going on, and we were able to use our supporter. You really don't want to use your supporter unless it's at the end of the turn, because you only get to use that once. The theory behind this is, you know, look both ways before you cross the street, and this is taken right from Zach Lesage's coaching via Manaphy. The link for that will also be down in the description if you'd like to learn even more in depth on how to sequence correctly. Now we can take a look here. You know, we've got our board state set up. If we're able to get this Wormadam out with maybe an Ultra Ball, a Quick Ball, or, you know, Research, that would be great. So right now, not doing too much. Let's check. So we could use our supporter here. That has 1 retreat cost. That has 1 retreat cost. Looks like they're pretty low on their energy count. And now we can do this. I can, let's see, load this up. We can flip and get rid of the poison, so that's really good. Now that sequencing right there is, we got rid of the poison. We know that we could take a knockout. We had used our supporter first, and now that we have a thin hand, we could use Bibarel. Bibarel is very good here. We can utilize this and this to get us ready for the next turn. Now we don't have any energies, which is pretty unfortunate, but we still have enough to get us there, possibly the next turn. And here comes another Crobat, and it really will allow us to take 2 prize cards if we're able to knock it out with an energy card next turn. I know that they're going to attempt to, you know, get the Pokemon out here and just knock it right out. That is totally fine. If they're bringing up our Bidoof, we don't care about that at all. I think what we would do next turn, we want to get this out or into the discard pile. Let's save our draw support. So now we have something to do with our hand. We can draw some cards. We can use Bruno if we want. We could just dump the whole hand. And I think what's best here, because they don't have a whole lot of Pokemon, is we should just first use Industrious Incisors to draw an extra card. Okay, we don't need either of these, which is absolutely fine. We've now saved one of our draw supporters from getting discarded with the Zinnia's Resolve. And now we have some energy that we can utilize here. We can get this Zoroark into the Wormadam to hit the Eternatus for those big numbers, or possibly the Weezing if that comes back up. And I think we're safe holding everything here and taking it from there. So really what we want to do is see if they're able to attack us. I think what they're trying to do is trying to draw into a boss's order to get rid of some of our Pokemon. Now what you can do while you're waiting for your turn is you can analyze your opponent's discard pile. So we see that all of their quick balls are gone. They have a dark patch. Generally a deck like this will run anywhere between 3 and 4. The VIP passes aren't really used for anything. I would assume that they also have Ultra Ball. It looks like their draw supporters aren't being used. So many good things happening here for us. And it looks like this Crobat is just going to take the knockout, which is, again, fine. We're going to take 2 prizes right now. So let's see. We can utilize this. I can go like this. Now, can use our Roseanne backup. I think we'll put the Zorua back. We can put this energy card back. Do we need any Pokemon tools? No. I think this is totally fine. The matchup is pretty solid, so we don't rely on the Choice Belt as much. Let's use the Industrious Incisors here. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. Let's get our Zorua ready. We can do that. Now we can Acid Mucus for a knockout, taking 2 prize cards. They are unable to get rid of this Flapple with that Wheezing, so they do have to put up Eternatus. Now if we can draw into an energy card, it's very, very good for us right now. But we have so many resources to do so. We can get rid of the Quick Ball and the Research to use the Ultra Ball to put on the Zoroark and then just start swinging for a knockout. We can bench our Zorua. Now here's a point where sequencing comes into play, where we want to use our Quick Ball, see if there's anything in the deck that we really don't need, and there's not. So the Zorua is fine. I think that even putting it into the discard, because we have, 2 on the board right now, that's fine. So that's thinning the deck. Something in sequencing you want to be able to thin. We have a 25 card deck. We have only 2 chances to get the Zoroark. We can Industrious Incisors, but let's try to thin our hand first. Oh, that's absolutely perfect. Alright. Let's counter Pokemon before we attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is doing 30 plus 10. So let's do math together. 30 plus 10. I think we are just enough with the super effective glasses here because we are doing 20 less. So let's use Matron's Anger. And we knocked out a 3 prize Pokemon. Very good here for us. And again, they are unable to knock out the Wheezing. This Pokemon is weak to grass. We really don't even care at this point because we have our Slowbro here. So it's something to mind in your discard pile. If the opponent takes this knockout, that's fine. If they take another knockout, that's also fine. We have our attacker that's grass. It can attack into this Moltres. We can attack that with a boss's order. And if they're able to get down to 1 prize card, we can really just use Slowbro to take the game. So something that we kept in mind this entire game is what's going on here in our discard pile, there in the opponent's discard pile, what's happening on the opponent's board, and also what's happening in our deck. Let's try to thin out our deck again and use some free search here because we have, let's see, 1, 2, 15 cards in the deck and 6 chances to hit an energy card for game. So let's reduce those odds by thinning out anything unnecessary. We can even place the tool card if we wanted to, but I really don't think it's necessary right now. I think that maybe just drawing cards is the better way to go to get into our deck. We don't want to put those cards back in with Bruno. And just like that, we are able to Phantom Transformation into the Golisopod, use the Twin Energy so we don't reduce any damage, and Hard Time Slash for 260 damage, winning the game. So there you have it, everyone. That was the basics of sequencing, how you're supposed to sequence your hand, your deck, your discard pile, all of that, making sure that you play to the utmost optimability, and yes, I said optimability here, on using your deck in the fullest. We use Zoroark Toolbox in today's deck, so go ahead and check out that deck list in the description below. If you like what we did here, make sure you're going down to the comments section and commenting what you'd like to see, what you didn't like in the video, so we know for next next time. Also, be sure to check out all of our other awesome content creators on the channel. All week long, you'll be able to see videos. If you like this video, hit the like button or the subscribe button to see when more videos like these will be posting. We're going to throw it over to our sponsors right now so you can check them out as well. The Shuffle Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectables, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen, make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectables will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, they have them there as well at atlaspokemart.com. And the best part is, the TSS12 code works there as well. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
This video is sponsored by PokeXword.com, the best place to get your fill of Pokemon-inspired puzzles. New puzzles are posted every Sunday, and it's a great way to disconnect and have some fun. Not only that, but they also host monthly giveaways on their channel. I personally complete these puzzles every week and can honestly say that they're pretty challenging. They've recently added a puzzle with flavor text only, which is a ton of fun. Be sure to follow PokeXword on Twitter to get notified when new puzzles are posted and when their giveaways are live.
Check out the Late Night Series Season 6, brought to you by myself, Zach Lesage, and the Shuffle Squad. We're going to be running a bunch of sick events for the Pokemon community, and they start on August 30th. So one thing you might be noticing here is that there's an EU time and an NA time. We have one at 12 p.m. Eastern, which works out to about 5 p.m. in London. And then we have one at 7 p.m. Eastern, which should help out a lot of players on the West Coast play in this event. That being said, we still have a lot of cool things going on. Expect similar prizing that we've had for other Late Night Series events. Expect better staffing, expect better tournament experiences, and of course we do have a stream going up for this season as well, and I will be streaming the event on Twitch. That being said, we have the whole season up on the Play Limitless website. Late Night 51 all the way through 70 runs until we hit the Invitational on November 5th. So check that out, sign up today, and support Zach Lesage Events and the Shuffle Squad. See you there.
The Shuffle Squad is an organization focused on bringing light to the Pokemon community. We love everything that there is to do with Pokemon, and we hope that you do too. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, following us, and commenting on this video to let us know what you'd like to see in the next video on the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video in its entirety, and we hope to see you next time.